The haunted hotel had been around for over a century, and throughout its long history, there were countless stories of strange happenings and unexplained phenomena. Some said that the hotel was built on an ancient burial ground, while others claimed that a madman once ran a twisted experiment on unsuspecting guests. Regardless of the reason, the hotel was notorious for its eerie atmosphere and ghostly sightings. One summer, a young couple named Sarah and David decided to spend a night at the hotel for their anniversary. They were both fascinated by ghost stories and were eager to experience the hotel's haunted reputation firsthand. As they entered the lobby, they were immediately struck by the oppressive silence that seemed to permeate the air. There were no other guests, no staff members, just the two of them and the hotel's eerie stillness. Despite their initial unease, they checked in and were led to their room on the third floor. The room was dimly lit and decorated with antique furniture. Sarah and David couldn't shake off the feeling that they were being watched, but they tried to ignore it and enjoy their night. They decided to order room service and watch TV, hoping to distract themselves from their unease. As they were about to fall asleep, they heard a faint tapping on the door. Sarah assumed it was just room service, but when she opened the door, no one was there. They brushed it off as a simple mistake and went back to bed. Throughout the night, they were woken up by strange noises and eerie whispers. Every time they tried to investigate, they found nothing out of the ordinary. They began to feel as though the hotel was playing a twisted game with them, trying to drive them mad. In the early hours of the morning, they finally managed to fall asleep. But their rest was short-lived as they were awakened by the sound of footsteps coming from the hallway. They could hear someone or something walking towards their door, and then suddenly everything went quiet. They waited in silence for what felt like an eternity, but nothing happened. Eventually, they decided to investigate, and as they opened the door, they were greeted by an icy gust of wind. They looked down the empty hallway and saw nothing, but they both felt as though they were being watched by an unseen presence. Suddenly, they heard a blood-curdling scream coming from down the hallway. Without thinking, they ran towards the sound, only to find an empty room with a window wide open, letting in the chilly night air. They looked out the window and saw nothing but the empty streets below. As they made their way back to their room, they heard the faint sound of laughter echoing through the hallways. They realized that they needed to leave the hotel immediately, but as they were packing their bags, they found a cryptic note on the nightstand. It read, "You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave." Trembling with fear, they made their way out of the hotel, vowing never to return. From that day on, they couldn't shake off the feeling that something had followed them out of that haunted hotel, and they knew they would never be the same again.